Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. Thank you for joining me. For this video series, we're still in the series of going through job descriptions, job postings, and we're trying to figure out, would I apply for this job? The whole concept behind this is going through and saying, like, here are the requirements, listing, looking at the requirements, seeing how my skill set lines up with those requirements, and ultimately deciding, is this a position I would apply for in the end? So continue watching more in this series, and I look forward to seeing you at the end of the video.
What do we got? This one's kind of interesting. As you can see, it's no longer available, but I thought it was a cool thing. I thought, hey, why not? You're a Java/web developer. Awesome. Nouveau Stack. Okay, we've learned from our other mistake. Is this even a company? I'm going to do one of these things here, and I'm going to do that. Nouveau Stack. Well, they're on LinkedIn. What do they talk about on LinkedIn? Nouveau Consulting. It's not a very big company. Nouveau Consulting is going to empower clients with technology. This might be another one of those that it is a recruiting agency. Business develop, employ, delivered. But it is it's a consulting company, it looks like. Oh, this is all what's single page site. Okay. I don't feel like looking through that. Our team utilizes. Oh, this might actually be the company, though. I don't know. I'd look into more than that if I was interested in the position. All right. First things first. So we've got compensation, 50 to 55 annually. Honestly, if I'm being honest, this is for junior web developer in my area. This is okay with no experience. If you have maybe 2 years of experience, I may aim a bit higher over that 55. But for someone who has no experience as a developer, and that's your salary, that's what they're saying they're going to pay you, I'd say that's pretty good. Is it the best? No, of course not. There's not a best. Remember, we discussed this. But this is a good starting point to your career. So I wouldn't discount it just because of the compensation level, is what I'm trying to say. Vision, medical, dental. It's a full-time job. Hey, full-time job. I love it. Why work here? Lots of room to grow in a highly charged environment. Highly charged. Does that mean they're never running on low? We're seeking a Java developer to join our team. Must be a problem solver and think analytically. Well, as you know, these are typical skills of a developer. So I'm glad that we've got that. Work with the latest middleware technology and solve business problems. Now, this is interesting. Definitely, if you don't know what middleware is and you're not familiar with the technology it uses, either research and figure it out, which I strongly suggest you to do anyway, or don't apply at this point. But even though you say you shouldn't apply at this point, doesn't mean you can't read the full job description. So don't discount the job description as the first thing that doesn't match. No. Let's look through this. Problem solver and able to learn quickly. Hey, I can do that. Create back-end code and interfaces for new web platforms. You know what? I am very good at coding the front and the back end. I think I could apply. See, my morale just changed. Able to provide desktop support on Windows and perform data migration for various ad hoc projects. Now, what this is talking about, from my understanding, is it could be talking about reporting. And if that's the case, it's referring to data. So this could be this middleware technology they were talking about. I don't know. I'm speculating here because I'm not for sure. But what I would say is that they're definitely looking for someone who knows the full stack here. And again, they're looking for someone who's a Java developer. So this may deter me because I don't know Java. But if I know enough to know how to code the front and the back end and know database work, I should feel pretty comfortable saying I should apply. But let's keep going. Here are the qualifications. It says must be authorized to work in the US. Hey, that's me. I could do that. It also talks about having previous experience in Java and Java EE, which I don't have. Then it talks about familiarity with application servers. And then it proceeds to list those. I've only heard of Apache from here, in the sense of Apache web server. So I would feel a little bit weird with that. AWS, I've deployed to AWS before, so I'm familiar with it in that sense. AWS is a large platform and it has many services. So I would also make sure, like, what kind of experience, like what specifically are you looking for me to do with AWS? Strong problem solving critical thinking skills. I think we established this up here, but I guess they're just trying to reinforce it. All right, so I mean, here's what we got. The question is, do I feel comfortable applying to this job? I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'd have lots of strong reservations about this job. There's things I like about it. Front and back end development. It's always a good thing for me. That's what I like to do. But then it talks about having to provide desktop support on Windows. I don't like desktop support. I feel like it kind of puts you in a corner to where you're either doing desktop support or you're coding. I feel like those are two different jobs. Not to say that the same person can't be skilled in both, because it's totally possible. You could do that thing. If that's something that you're interested in. But for me, I'm not really interested in doing any kind of desktop support. But I'm not going to discount this job only because I'd be curious if I can even make it further into this process. They talk about previous experience with Java, but think of it this way. This is a junior Java/web developer position, right? If they were, which they're not because this job was closed, but if they got to a point where they're really in a hunch and they're trying to find somebody to fill this position and you put your resume out there, they, go through the interview process. Hey, we love you, but you don't have this skill, but they like the interaction that you have with the other team members that are on your team. If you're knowledgeable in what you do know and you're comfortable in what you do know, they might be willing to take a shot on you. So I wouldn't discount applying. I would go ahead and apply even though I don't have Java, and I would make that known. Don't try to mask it. Like if you were to write them a cover letter, don't put what you don't know. Stick with what you do know. I am comfortable in blah, 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 blah languages. I've worked with AWS in this context. I've heard of Apache web server in this context, and this is how I used it. So point out the things that you're really comfortable at doing and see what they say.
All right, thank you all for watching. I hope this was helpful for you all. Give it a like if it was helpful to you. Leave a comment below stating whether you would or would not apply for this job and kind of like why. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to my channel for more content if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? And I look forward to seeing you all in another video soon. Bye.